Would you give us your name, your institution affiliation, and your research and teaching interests?
Lara Kattekola, English, LaGuardia Community College at the City University of New York. And I teach writing, composition, technical writing.
We are here at Arizona State University to attend the NEH Summer Institute on Bioengineering, Ethics and the Humanities, which is organized by the Center for Biology and the Lincoln School for Applied Ethics. Given your research interests and your professional background, what drew you to this institute?
Well, learning about scientific and technological topics is something of a personal interest of mine, just because I like to learn about things that I don't come across in my daily dealings or research areas of literature and film. But I'm also, so coming to the Institute, learning about those things is just personally interesting for me. But having the opportunity to look at these topics in a little bit more detail, various scientific or technological topics that I could introduce to my courses, particularly for my teaching technical writing course. It's a course taken for engineering students. So I try to contextualize technical writing within those kind of topics that they would be most interested in and or be working in once they graduate. So science and technology, it goes hand in hand with engineering. So that's why I was drawn to come here and learn more and how I could apply it in my classroom.
You talked about science, technology, and engineering, and we are both in the English department. This is not a configuration that is common. What challenges would you say faculty face when trying to do this kind of interdisciplinary work? How easy do you think it can be, or how difficult can it be, and how can faculty engage in such endeavors?
I think some of the challenges might be that these are subject matters that English faculty, humanities faculties may not deal with directly in their learning and research, but these are issues that are all around them as just citizens of the world, and I think many of them are interested in learning about it, but they just need some resources and activities and ideas and discussions. And the Summer Institute, we had the opportunity to engage in all of those kind of things around the science and technology, and so just being exposed and in a spirit of learning can really help faculty, have the idea that, oh yeah, I can read about this topic and learn about it, and come up with the questions that I might want to ask students. But it's just a matter of being introduced and breaking it down, just like we tell our students when they're confronted with a topic that they don't understand.
Great. In our institute, we met with scientists, we met with speech pathologists, we met with lab technicians and professionals, philosophers, humanists. What stood out to you? Or can you think of an idea or one or two people or any activities or lab work that we've been doing that stands out to you as particularly insightful?
Sure. I think the most interesting and novel activity that we wouldn't normally engage in our own disciplines is doing the lab work. And being able to have the opportunity to be in a lab conducting lab experiments, wearing goggles and a lab coat, really was a powerful experience. We learned about bacterial transformation, and we're currently doing a gene editing experiment using CRISPR. These are things that we normally don't talk about, think about, do research on. But if we're going to try to bring science and technology into the classroom, we should have as much exposure to what science is and how science gets done. And just having not that we know everything from being in 2 lab experiments, but just having that background of what happens in a lab, what's the lab environment, what are lab tools, what are the variables that come up in results, whether it's misusing lab equipment or putting too much of a plasmid into your E. coli bacteria, all these things can affect results. And just having more of that just general understanding of what lab experimentation is, I think can only just help us get a more better, cohesive, more comprehensive understanding of what science is, and then we can talk a little bit more knowledge, with more knowledge and information about those larger issues that come up with bioethical questions of lab research. So I don't know if it's something that, again, we don't normally do lab work, but just having that, just being around in that atmosphere can be helpful in our general understanding of science and technology.
That's insightful, Lara, coming from an English professor talking about labs and lab experiments and gene editing. Finally, what role would you say a liberal arts education can play in preparing students to face the challenges of the 21st century?
But what role can
A liberal arts education.
integrating the science and humanities?
Yes.
I think it could play a really great role. The 21st century is full of lots of technological advancement and scientific development. It's ongoing. It's advanced considerably in terms of technology, just within the past few years. We're all now being exposed to these kind of technologies in a very material way because we've been teaching online and learning all sorts of sophisticated tools. But then also just science is advancing, and if these are the things that our students are going to be confronting and need to navigate, we should be bringing discussion of it into our classrooms in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not our particular area of specialty. We're all 21st century citizens. These are things that, a vaccine or, some kind of computer aided equipment or an application on our cell phone, just various things that we can access now. We have to learn to navigate this world. And it's not slowing down. It's not going to go backwards. We're just going to move forward. So we need to equip our students with, issues and ideas and content that also reflects this world that they are entering, that they live in and they are entering, and to give them ideas and content so that they can raise their own questions. And then they can think through things in multiple perspectives, so that they can be better informed to make choices to live in this world or to live meaningfully or productively, both as an individual and as part of the collective.
Great. Thank you very much, Lara, for these very insightful comments. And thank you for taking the time to do this.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.